Mr. Eskin.
Here.
Mr. Sweat.
Here.
Mr. Harshman.
Present.
Proof of publication for tonight's meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Okay, we can move to public comments.
Linda Evans, one.
Yes. Linda Evans, born 22 Parkview Drive. I would ask again, I had asked this several times before, that the board consider moving the meeting times back closer to, they used to be 7 o'clock for many years. I know a lot of people are really interested in participating, and they are not able to because a lot of people work until 5 o'clock. I would ask that the board consider that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl Robinson.
Cheryl Robinson, 6265 Brownsville Road Extension. Number 13 on the agenda, approve, deny conditional use decision of findings of facts and conclusions of the law, Q&A zoning. They denied.
Cheryl, could you speak up?
I'm sorry. They denied the rezoning, so what is the conditional use?
That's it.
The definition.
That's a typo. It should be approve or deny amended zoning hearing decision.
What does that mean? I mean, what are they amending?
They asked that the zoning ordinance be amended to rezone their property. So there was a hearing on the
Right, I was
rezoning.
here, I was,
A decision was made.
correct.
The municipality's planning code requires that we issue findings of fact and conclusions of law within 45 days of the last hearing. That's what that is.
Okay, so the denial could be changed?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Michelle.
No, I don't, that's why I asked.
Cheryl.
Michelle Degree, 6178 State Route 88. I see on the agenda number 7 that we are doing a settlement with Sean McQuillan, one of our road crew employees, I'm assuming to buy out his contract. So this is the 4th employee that this board hired, including Mr. Tom Miller, Mr. Baylog, our old manager, Ken Puglisi, and now Sean, that this board hired and used our solicitor to draw up their contract, and yet we've broken it. And the other ones that came before Sean and now Sean have all taken buyouts. I don't understand the reasoning between breaking a contract and paying somebody not to do their job. It costs a lot of money for this township to do these arbitrations, the litigations, and it doesn't get the work that they were gonna do done. So I would hope the board would consider that and further breaking of contracts with the employees, and maybe, I've heard some things in the past that they fired themselves or something like that, but you guys hired them. You guys picked them out. They were people that this board interviewed, that this board hired, that this board wrote the contract for, and then this board broke the contract for. I also concerned with buying the contract out, because now we have 2 road crew members. I don't know what the game plan is. I don't know how long we can go with just 2 road crew members and Mr. Brining. But if you have a game plan, you haven't shared it. I don't know that how much work can get done, what we're gonna do in the winter, but what happens if one of those road crew members hurts? Sorry for that. But if you have a plan, it would be great if you share it with us, because there's a lot of people that are concerned with how we're gonna get through continually with just 2 road crew.
Good, thank you very much. Do you have anybody else?
Nope.
Anybody else that didn't sign in that would like to speak in public comment? No waiting. So moving on to business, solicitor's report, item C.
Madam Chairman, I don't have anything to add. I'll just provide comment as needed on agenda items.
Chairman's report, I have nothing tonight, and so we can skip over that. E, unfinished business, we have no vacancies at this time. And we can go into item F, which is announcing the executive sessions that we've had in the past 2 weeks. August 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th, and the 25th, all regarding personnel and litigation. Moving into item G, action items. Okay, item number 1, approve, deny minutes from July 14th, 2021 public meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for July 14th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Ms. Dare?
I'm going to abstain, I have not had a time to read the minutes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
I abstain, I was not present.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Item 2, approve, deny minutes from July 21st, 2021 special meeting.
I make a motion to approve the July 21st, 2021 special meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Ms. Dare?
Abstain, because I have not read the minutes yet.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Item 3, approve, deny minutes from the July 28th, 2021 public meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the public meeting minutes from July 28th, 2021.
I'll
Oh.
second.
Somebody second?
I'll second.
Ms. Dare?
Abstain, because I've not read the minutes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Item 4, approve, deny the amended lot 502R Tuscany Estates Phase 5 subdivision plan, subject to satisfying Harshman CE Group comments per their August 6, 2021 review letter.
I'll make that.
I'd like to
I'd like to
make a comment on this item.
Well, let them make a motion and second, and then you can comment. Did you make the motion?
I made the motion, yes, sir.
Second.
Any seconds?
I'll second.
Yeah, I'd just like the board to know that we reviewed, we submitted them a letter which had outstanding comments. They addressed all those comments, and at this point we recommend full approval without any conditions. So
Perfect, thank you.
Heather?
Yes.
Could you roll call on that motion, please? Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Item 5, approve, deny the amended lot 503R Tuscany Estates Phase 5 subdivision plan, subject to satisfying Harshman CE Group comments per their August 6, 2021 review letter. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion to approve 503R.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Item 6, approve, deny Tuscany Estates using the Union Township Boardroom for their HOA meetings, dates being September 28th, October 5th, October 12th, and October 26th, and November 16th, all of 2021.
I'll make the motion to approve Tuscany Estates using the boardroom for the dates listed.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Item 7, approve, deny settlement with Sean McCoyan for grievance numbers 20538 and 20539, and a global settlement of all outstanding matters, including severance pay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion to settle Sean McQuillan's grievances.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Briney?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Item 8, approve, deny dates of fall leaf cleanup, Monday, October 24th, and Monday, November 1st, and Monday, November 8th, all of 2021. I'd like to make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Briny?
Yes.
Item 9, approve denied dates of a budget workshop. These are proposed dates: Wednesday, October 6th, 2021 at 5 p.m., Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021 at 5 p.m., and Wednesday, November 17th, 2021, 5 p.m. And Union Township staff will do the advertising for these meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve those 3 dates.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Briny?
Yes.
Item 10, approve deny sewage workshop date for Monday, October 4th, 2021 at 6 p.m. and having Harshman CE Group do the advertising. And just as a reminder to the board, this would be a sewage workshop as it pertains to Finley El Ramo Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the sewage workshop for October 4th.
I'll second that motion, Madam Chair.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Briny?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes. Item 11, approve deny payment of invoice 6044 to Slusar Excavating LLC in the amount of $5,175 for the installation of the holding tank at 4042 Finley El Ramo Road. This price includes withholding 10% payment, which would be $575, until the grass reaches 70% cover over the disturbed area. And this was the emergency work done on Finley El Ramo Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of $5,175.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Briny? Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Item 12, approve deny payment of invoice number 6045 to Slusarchek Excavating LLC in the amount of $4,900 for the driveway repair and work performed in the area of the unknown 30-inch diameter pipe in order to collect the flow to the holding tank at 4042 Finley El Ramo Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of $4,900.
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Briny?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Hold up. I'd like to make a comment. So Larsick Excavating, in my opinion, did a good job. We had a couple little quirks, couple little design changes. They were there, they came back each time, and they dug in and got it done. I think we're lucky to get them that quick.
Alrighty, moving on to 13. Gary, since there is a typo here, instead of conditional use decision, we have to replace that with amended zoning hearing decision?
Yes.
Okay, so what I think I may do is there a time limit on this? Because I would like to table this.
No, there's a time.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion to add something to the agenda? Because this
No.
is, no?
No,
Okay.
it was just mischaracterized. So,
Okay.
the findings of fact inclusion law apply to that Q and A rezoning hearing. So that's really approve,
Okay.
deny the decision with, just eliminate anything in front of the word decision.
Okay. Should I replace it with amended zoning hearing?
That's already there.
Okay.
Q and A rezoning hearing is already
Okay,
there.
perfect, thank you so much. So going into this, approve, deny the decision with the findings of facts and conclusions of law for the Q and A rezoning hearing held on August 10th, 2021. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion to approve.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Trax?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Briny?
Yes.
Item 14, approve, deny opening Cardox Road to complete the road project by installing cautionary and safety signs where the road narrows, and for Sweat Law offices to draft a resolution stating the Board of Supervisors' position. So with that, I just wanted to add, and I wanted an opinion from Sean or Jamie. I know that you had just recently sent some correspondence on some additional checkpoints on Cardox Road that you would like to monitor before we're opening the road? Okay, so,
Yeah, just a couple, as you said, checkpoints, some things that we wanna see cleaned up. You mentioned the signage, a couple other things. So any condition, or it may be good to have a condition of the road opening, be that we get the chance to give it an eyeball before it's actually open.
okay. Okay. So, I would like to make a motion then to approve opening Cardox Road, to complete the road project by installing cautionary and safety signs where the road narrows, and for Sweat Lofts to draft a resolution stating the Board of Supervisors' positions conditioned upon Harshman CE Group making sure that all the checkpoints are correct before they open the road.
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Mr. Trask?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Burning?
Yes.
Item 15, approve deny payment of invoice 21-0166 to Geo Energy Tech Services LLC in the amount of $1,485.60 for the Gun Club Road T709 signing and delineation safety improvements project.
I'll make a motion to approve invoice 21-0166.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Trask?
Yes.
Mr. Burning?
Yes.
Item 16, approve deny final planned residential development, otherwise known as PRD, approval for the Mineral Beach planned residential development. Or some comments from Jamie and Rashawn?
I'll go first. You should have our comment letter issued August 24th. Unless you want me to, I won't read through all of the comments here at the meeting. The plans were submitted a while ago. We completed our initial review of those plans. There were substantial comments. Last Wednesday, the revised plans were received here at the township. We completed that review, I think, yesterday, letter dated August 24th. There's still quite a bit of comments. There was a substantial improvement in the plans, but there are significant comments that still need to be addressed. It's our opinion that it's not ready for approval at tonight's meeting. We would recommend that it be tabled. I know there's pressure from the developer to get this moving as fast as possible, and I respect that. It's just the plans aren't quite ready yet, in our opinion.
I got a comment.
Okay.
I'd like to see this, I'd like to see everything go. I think the engineers are there. I'm disappointed in what I read in Jamie's letters. Some of the stuff looks easy for a dumb dirt digger, a mistake. This has been bouncing back and forth. I would really like to see it go. We can't approve anything till the end of next month, is that correct?
Well, it depends on, I guess, the conditions being met.
Yeah, the schedule would be our agenda meeting and then the legislative meeting, so typically you would see it at your second.
Each meeting is a legislative meeting.
So it could be 2 weeks from now. So it depends, absolutely, please.
Ryan Costa with NDR. I was on the email with the letter that was received. You know, NDR, we work in a lot of different municipalities, we work with a lot of different engineering firms. I would say 90% of those comments that are on that received on that list. Now, there are some cleanup items. But
Could you repeat that?
I said, NVR works in a lot of different municipalities, and we work with a lot of different engineering firms as far as reviewing with township municipal engineers, and I see a lot of comment letters come across my desk. 90% of those comments that are on that letter are not they pertain to the developer's agreement, the HOA documents, the sewer planning module. That sewer planning module, it should be conditioned upon the approval. You guys had the sewer planning module, Harshman had it for months. We finally got it approved to send to DEP. It went to DEP. Now DEP's in conflict with Mr. Kovac at Peters Creek. Now we have to wait for them to have a meeting. A lot of those items on that on that list are cleanup items that are discussed and worked out between the developer and the township and the solicitor during the developer agreement process. A lot of those items on that list do not fundamentally change the layout, the design, and the aesthetics of how that plan is gonna look. Some of it is cleanup of a pipe. Hey, this pipe needs 6 inches of additional cover. Little items. And then the letter that we got last night, they've reviewed the plans 4 or 5 times. It had 14 additional comments that were never on previous. How many bites at the apple did we get? So I guess my point is that we need to keep moving with this. If we're not moving, we're not gonna be getting out there. And what we're asking is, you give us an approval on this. Chris Ham's here with KDH, he can address any of those comments as well. We spoke, he's ready to resubmit plans by Monday, back to the township, back to Harshman. Half of that stuff on that list, it's the HOA documents, they want the HOA documents. Those aren't gonna be submitted, we're not ready for that yet. We don't have final plans yet. That doesn't get done until the developer's agreement's ready to be with the township. A lot of that stuff does not need to be part of the final PRD approval.
Stay there.
So,
Comment, Jamie.
I'll address that. So I'd say about 8 of the comments in the letter are things that are to be addressed in the future. And those comments are there as a reminder. I'd say about 25 of them should probably be addressed now. Additionally, I wouldn't be surprised if we had more comments in the future, just because the plans aren't as clear as what we'd like them to be.
All right, stop for a second. We're asking for PRD approval. We now have to come back in for final land development on the first phase of the first 73 lots. You're gonna get a whole nother crack to look at pipe diameter, size, and all that stuff. We're talking minutia items. These are not changing pipe locations. We're not changing where road alignments are. We're not changing grading elevations. We are asking for PRD approval. You still have to review the final land development set, which you've already been submitted and have told us you won't start the review until the PRD is approved.
Right.
So that is sitting on your desk waiting for this approval.
That's due to changes in the PRD affecting that first phase.
What's changed in the first phase that's affecting?
I mean, right now, you have buildings built on top of easements. So until that's wrapped up.
What? No, we don't. Show me where. We do not.
I'll
It's
show you
not in
after
the
the
comment
meeting.
letter. It's not in the comment letter.
I'm gonna respectfully request, we're not gonna have this back and forth. If the board wants to approve it conditioned on our comments tonight in the essence of time, I have no objection to that. Our only role here is to be an advisory council to the board to give you an engineering review of the plans as they relate to your ordinances and good engineering practices. So you've got our comment letter. I feel like the back and forth, we're just gonna upset Ryan. I don't wanna do that, and I don't wanna be disparaging towards his engineer, because the plans are looking great, but there's comments that need addressed, so. At that point, I'll kick it back to the board. Our position is to be respectful to our ordinances and our processes. It's not ready yet. At the same time, we've done it before. We've conditionally approved this development with 130 comments a couple of years ago. So, we'll work with whatever you give us to work with. But I don't think the back and forth is gonna be helpful tonight.
And I respect Jamie for saying that. I respect Jamie. I think my point is that a lot of the things on there are not pertain to this approval, and a lot of those items are part of the next submission that's already on Jamie's desk for review that will be addressed. Pipe sizes, things like that they have on their desk that are already in for review for the first phase. It has to go through a full process again.
Is that true with the pipe sizes? Does that make a difference?
There's one pipe that I could change. Yeah. Based upon the comments, there is one pipe size that will probably change from a 24 to a 15. We're actually downgrading some. I will agree the majority, Chris Hale with KDH, my feeling on this, a lot of the comments are more drafting issues rather than any design or, like Ryan mentioned, fundamental aspects of the plan. We have committed that we will have plans back to them Monday. We'll probably be closing business Monday. More than happy to sit down with them anytime after that to go over them. But like Ryan mentioned, we will be submitting another full set of plans for the actual phase one development. This approval does not give us permission to go start moving dirt yet. It just gets us through the PRD practice, so we can come back and get the phase one, which would be the first 73 lots.
Chris, I know you and I know Ryan. And again, I'd like this to go through. A couple of weeks ago, when I saw that 8-page letter, I asked Sean to bring in the drawings, and I went through it. I'm a dumb dirt digger, and I saw a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna stand beside my engineer. I hear he's tough. We want tough.
Oh, I agree completely.
Hold on, we deserve tough. I don't know, I'm not knowledgeable enough to know at this process what is required with pipe sizes and building on easements. I saw that stuff. I have no problem, I didn't talk to the rest of the board, see where they're at, to give you something on condition that you get these back in, but I would say if you don't get them back in and get it approved, it's a no-go. I hate to see you burn daylight.
No, I agree, like, that's why we're committing to get them back in by the first, with conditions. Now, there are some items, like Brian mentioned, obviously, that the homeowners, we're not going to be able to do anything with that. The planning module, we have no control over that. That is a discussion right now between Peters Creek Sanitary Authority and the DEP on how they allocate taps. Basically, my understanding is they want Peters Creek to remove, and this is probably going to be moving forward in the township, if a plan comes through, they want them to take them off the books completely. If they're allocated 200 taps for the year for 2021, if somebody submits a plan and requests taps, those taps are now removed from Peters Creek allotment because it's assigned to this. Most sanitary authorities will keep them on the plan, but they're somewhat allocated to the developer, but they are not given to the developer until they pay actual tap fees. I know, speaking with Rick Kovac at Peters Creek, this was a huge surprise to him. That is why he's actually stepping in and speaking with Terry at the DEP. That is probably the main item that we just do not have any control of right now.
Did you guys previously talk to Rick Kovac about this when you started?
Yeah, the whole plan, they signed off on everything in the planning module.
And it still was a surprise.
Yes,
Oh, interesting.
because we,
I'd have to ask Gary at this point, can we do something like this on condition they get in here and
Yeah,
finalize them?
because it's a PRD, it's more conceptual that, yes, they've met the requirements of the PRD zoning ordinance to do a PRD development. They can't, as Chris said, they can't move dirt, they can't get a building permit, and they've got to submit, final site plans that are gonna be thoroughly reviewed, and those have to be approved before they can start the project. I think that there's a little bit of give and take, and I think if you approve it with those conditions as set forth in the Harshman letter, that you're counting on NVR Mineral Beach to comply with having those documents, those plans, those revisions in their hands on Monday.
yes,
Like
like I said, it's gonna be closed of business Monday, not because today's Wednesday, so. But to be honest, we received we received the comment letter yesterday. We are probably 75% of the way through the comments today.
Jamie, the letter you're referring to is the August 24th letter? Alrighty, I'd like to make a motion to approve the final PRD approval for the Mineral Beach development conditioned upon the HC Harshman CE Group letter dated August 24th to be conditioned on that to be reviewed and completed by the end of business day on Monday, which is September 1st.
August.
September, what's Monday's date?
August 30th. August 29th.
I would say submitted, not reviewed.
Okay.
I don't. If I'm submitting Monday.
I'm still trying to find Monday's date.
It's August 30th.
August 30th. Not reviewed, submitted. Yes.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Travis?
Yes.
Ms. Dare?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Roney?
Yes.
Mr. Eskin?
Yes. Thank you.
Chris, Brian, I got one more comment. I know you make it sound like you gave him you guys gave him the drawings. But, you know, Thursday last week, we got so many projects going on. I mean, we got the stick on his back to push you as much as we can too.
Oh, understood.
He's busy. I want him to hire more people. So, I mean, I'm surprised he turned it around from Thursday to.
It was a quick, this was a quick review turnaround. I will, yes.
Good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 17, approve deny Harshman CE Group to proceed with the drainage design near 6916 Spruce Street to alleviate ponding and coordination with the flood law office to prepare and obtain required easements for the associated outlet pipe. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion for Spruce Street drainage problem.
Mr. Eskin,
Yes.
Mr. Ronnie,
Yes.
Ms. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Trapp.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Item 18, approve deny dates for the Halloween trick or treat, which would be scheduled for Sunday, October 31st, 2021, from 6 to 8 p.m.
I'll make a motion to approve the date for trick or treat, October 31st, 6 p.m. to 8.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Trapp.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Ronnie,
Yes.
Ms. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Eskin.
Yes.
Item 19, approve deny initiating the work for the Finley El Ramo Road sewer project using the $200,000 LSA grant obtained in 2021 in combination with a portion of the funds received from the American Rescue Plan Act and a portion of the general fund. If needed, period. The total project estimate is $438,121.20, with $46,550 being the cost of the 19 Peters Creek Sanitary Authority tap fees. The cost of the tap fees will be collected from properties connected with the sewer by this project. I also wanted to add a condition on here for the board to consider. It was explained to me late this afternoon that the LSA grant is not ready for release, so the condition would be upon the LSA grant being ready for disbursement to the township.
I make a motion to approve the Finleyville El Ramo sewage project on condition that the LSA grant gets released.
And it's not put out to bid before you get confirmation of that. That's the key.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Trapp.
Yes.
Mr. Eskin,
Yes.
Ms. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Ronnie,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Moving on to discussion items, item number 1, we have here discuss the bond on Tuscany Road. And I see Pete is here from the HOA. Hi, Pete. Attorney Sweat gave a lengthy summation of everything that's going on in Tuscany, and we missed that in his last meeting. I don't know if he'll be able to repeat that and do that what he did. He was prepared very well, and he really had a good update for the board and the citizens on all that we're dealing with the Tuscany development. And so one of the things that the board had mentioned to put on discussion items from the carryover of the last meeting was discuss possibly calling the bond up in Tuscany. I don't know if has anybody had any thoughts or conversation on?
We haven't done anything on that.
Okay, so we can just keep that tabled, and,
I'll be happy
Need to
to
do something.
give Pete a copy of my letter to Bruce Clausen outlining the open items and also outlining what we needed before we were even willing to move. I have that letter here, and that'll save you some time.
in short, we're where we were, I don't know, 5 years ago,
Yeah,
when Gary took this on.
we keep hearing that they're close with negotiations with Milanda, but close is not the same as done.
So maybe you can stop by
I will.
and talk to Gary.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'd like to make a motion to table the, Tuscany bond issue till a later date, maybe even next month, at the end of the month, because I think we're pretty busy at this time. I know our engineers are. I don't
Well, you
think
can
they
just direct what happens, that's not an agenda item, it needs a
Okay.
motion. You can just direct it to table.
Okay, so we'll just table.
Keep it as a discussion item, I guess.
Okay. Bobby, if you can keep it on your running file list
Yes.
with Jamie and Sean. Okay, item 2, discuss Mingo area sewage funding. We can, that's a moot point, because we've done that. Oh, no, this isn't a moot point, I'm thinking Finley El Remo Road. Okay, so we have Finley El Remo Road planned, and we're moving forward pretty rapidly. So our third sewage area on our goal list in the last 5 years was Mingo sewage, and we all know what that entails. We're to the point where we're ready to go out for funding on that, so Jamie, I know 2 months ago, you were going to push forward on Finley El Remo Road with Penvest loans. Now that we've found a way around getting that done quicker, thoughts on Penvest loans for Mingo?
The next cutoff date for the Penvest application, initial applications for new projects is November 3rd. So if we can target getting a project application in by November 3rd, their board meets in January to review those applications, and that would start the process with Penvest. So that's probably a reasonable next step to do.
I know you don't have those figures in your head. They're probably broadly in your head, but with the grant that we received a $500,000 grant. What is the estimated remaining balance that we will have to loan out? Do you have a ballpark?
Total?
2 total.
2, okay, so Sean's telling me off the top of our head, the total project costs around $2 million.
Okay,
So with the $500,000 LSA grant that we have for construction, that's 1.5 that is forecasting to be borrowed.
okay. Just to keep that in everybody's head.
What's the cutoff date on that, Jane?
November 3rd.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board?
I think also while we're looking at, just because we've got LSA and Penvest, we should keep our ears to the ground on any other funding options that come around. We know the H2O grant we did not secure. If anything like that comes open again, we'll keep our eyes open as well. But we would have the opportunity to partner with other grants if we could get them in conjunction with the Penvest loan. And the Penvest loan, typically they can combine a portion of grants that they have as well as loans. So we may see a loan grant split from Penvest. However, the Penvest funding scenario does not allow any more than 50% in grant funds. So we've already got 25% theoretically in grant funds. If Penvest could throw another 25% in, that would only mean $1 million loan. So anyway, there will be some things that get worked out between now and when we're actually pricing this project out and doing the work.
Do you think that, and does the board think this might be a call to Rich Cleveland? I mean, to loop him in on anything he knows about grant wise?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I also saw on, PSAPs, something new with LSA grants coming up. I saw it just today, I didn't fully understand it. It's a meeting of a new process. Might wanna look into that. You got enough design to meet the November 9th or 3rd?
We do. For the Penvest application, it's really just schematic type information of the project, number of customers, some census data, some just broad stroke data on the project itself, so yes.
Okay, good.
so maybe, Jamie, you excuse me, give Sean Rich Cleveland's number, maybe? Or do you want that, you want someone like
No,
Terry
yeah, we'll touch
Gladys
base with
or-
him, sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Board's good with that?
Jamie, what's the interest rate now on Penvest loans?
Well, it's right around 1%.
It's still 1%?
1.2 or something like that. It's a weird thing where the first little bit it's 1.8, and then after a certain while it drops down to 1.2, but it's right around 1% level.
It's amortized 30 years?
30 years.
Very good.
Cheap enough.
Okay, so moving on to item number 3. So we have tabled the item on the pay per call for the fire department, and I would, yep.
Take it long.
Well, I wanted to suggest to the board, I know we've heard different things, and I think what Lenny has told us was he doesn't think that would be a wise use of that. I would think the board would consider, we have budget meetings coming up next month, I would like the board to consider a donation to the fire departments, like we've done last year.
Above the 10,000 we usually do?
That would be up to the board.
Okay, I didn't know.
So maybe, we'll keep that in our mind in the budget discussions, and then we can always put that back on if
Maybe we could talk to El Ringo Fire Department and see what's better for them. Yeah. Well, no, you can't do that, yeah. It's done.
Cause they're talking, they'd like you to do the truck.
Okay, yeah.
If they think we can help them out, I think would be great.
Okay. Bobby, do you think you could put this on the agenda for the end of the month, of September?
Yep.
Thank you. I'd like to make just table this item, I guess I don't need a motion to do that. Last item is item 4, discuss Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers Organization and tip line. So this is, something that I believe Sarah or Gary is going to speak on as a result of, the discussion the board had regarding an option to offer tips or what do we call that? Tips for,
That lead to arrest and
yes,
conviction.
yes. It was a section in our second-class township code that the board wanted to consider to fight crime in our township.
Well, let me just say, and Sarah, I don't know if you were touch base with them. You were?
I
Well,
know.
let me say this, and then, there is an organization called Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers. It's a 501c3, it's a corporation, they're based out of Harrisburg, and they operate, statewide. And,
State agency?
no, it's a private, nonprofit corporation to assist, law enforcement. I talked to, Chief Brian Hughes, who's chief in North Strabane, but he's a resident of Union. And he said that he was involved on the board when he was in Iowa. He was in Iowa for maybe 10, 12 years as a chief before he was hired by North Strabane. And he said it worked quite well. It was a county-wide Crime Stopper. And he said the important thing is that they have to be and continue to be anonymous. That's what makes it work. And he said it was pretty elaborate, that the monies were funded through Canada so that a criminal defense lawyer couldn't say who ratted on me or who found me, whatever. So the autonomousness of the tip is crucial to making it work. And I think Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers would be able, and hopefully they've told Sarah exactly what we need to tell our residents. Any payment from Union Township would go to PA Crime Stoppers. They in turn would filter the tip, and then they would decide if the tip led to a conviction, and then they would issue the reward, if you will. I wanted to talk to the DA on that, but unfortunately Gene passed away. Didn't realize he was as sick as he was. But I think with the Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers, we can get all the information and get you as a township where you want to be and trying to facilitate this crime watch.
Yes.
What did you find out?
So I have called place with the Crime Stoppers. I haven't received anything back, but I did a little bit more research. And I think the first step that we need to take is get the city of Monongahela, the police department, with the Crime Watch network. They are not within the Crime Watch network. They're not an associated network yet. So if we get them associated with it, then the community as a whole, the residents of Union Township and the city of Monongahela would get updates on the crime in the area. You'd be able to, it kind of bridges the gap between law enforcement and the community and just makes people aware of when there's a drug overdose or there's a crime that happened on your street or something along those lines. So I think we need to talk to the city of Monongahela Police Department first so that they can become part of this crime watch. And then we move forward with this Crime Stoppers, and then every single resident in the community can get continuous updates on a daily, monthly, weekly basis on the crime in the neighborhood. And then, as Attorney Sweat said, that, it's most important to remain anonymous. If you even give any personal information about yourself, you receive no money from Crime Stoppers, it's automatically void. So, but I think our first step is.
Well, our plan is, once Crime Stoppers calls us back,
Yes,
we're gonna find out exactly what we need to put on our Facebook and what kind of motion we need to make, so that we can tell the residents, this is what you do if you see a crime.
Okay.
And walk them through it. And then Crime Stoppers, City of Monongahela, Pennsylvania State Police, they take over.
Okay, how about anything, with the Attorney General's office or the Washington County District Attorney's office? I know are we going to the county level, or is this staying strictly to,
Crime Stoppers will govern the tip.
okay,
They'll assign
So we
it
don't
to
have to
the
worry about
appropriate
they-
law enforcement agency. We're totally out of it. All you do is write a check.
okay. Okay, great, I'm interested.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to hear more from Sarah and from Gary
Yep.
on next moves? Okay, perfect, thank you for your research on that. Okay, let's see here, moving on to item, I, payment approval for payroll dated, number 1, approve, deny payroll dated August 20th, 2021, in the amount of $9,087.80 for 1 administrative, 1 intern, 2 road crew, and 1 roadmaster.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 20th payroll for $9,087.80.
I will second that.
Mr. Trask,
Yes.
Ms. Dare,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Breinig,
Abstain.
Mr. Eskin.
Yes.
Item 2, approve, deny bill pay list for the general account in the amount of $95,004.82.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the general account pay list for $95,004.82.
I'll second the motion.
Ms. Dare,
Yes.
Mr. Eskin,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Trask.
Yes.
Mr. Breinig.
Yes.
Item 3, approve, deny bill pay list for the El Rema sewer account in the amount of $6,388.92.
Make a motion to approve the bill pay list for the El Reno sewage account, $6,388.92.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Eskin,
Yes.
Mr. Breinig,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Trask.
Yes.
Ms. Dare.
Yes. J, correspondence, anybody have correspondence? Okay, moving on to K, public comment.
I would like to make a
Absolutely.
Linda Evansborn, 22 Parkview Drive. I would like to address, the Sean McClellan on the agenda. I would like to know as a taxpayer, how much the township agreed to pay the taxpayers' money to buy out, Mr. McClellan's contract. I think that in the, insurance, transparency, that the residents of Union Township and taxpayers have a right to know how much of their money is being paid to buy out a road crew worker, of which this board, most of the members of this board were present when you signed the 5-year contract last year with them. And also, I would also like to address, and I would hope that would be on the bill pay, so that we all can see how much of our money was used for that. Also, I think that the board does need to address exactly what is the game plan for a road crew. There was a discussion last summer, about the road crew being laid off, and we were told by this board and our solicitor that the layoffs were due to COVID, and it was for a safety issue. Then we were told that it was, concerns about the taxes being collected because of COVID, would we get all of our tax money, which we did. And, still Mr. McClellan was not recalled. back to work. We cannot sustain plowing the roads and doing the regular maintenance that needs done in our parks and on our roads, with 2 road crew, and I know that personally because I served a term on this board, and I know what it takes. And I do believe that we hired a consultant to look over, a lot of, the operational items in the township. We hired, the former Peters Township manager, and I did read his report, and he did say that Union Township needed a minimum of 5 road crew employees. And that's in writing, and anyone can read that report, of which we paid $10,000 of taxpayers' money for that report. And, so I would like to know, what is the game plan? Surely this board has a game plan. The safety and welfare of the people on township roads are at stake. Albert's in his 60s. I'm sure Ron's probably close to 50, maybe over 50. What happens if one of them get hurt, get COVID, have a heart attack, a stroke? Who plows the roads so that the school buses can get up the hill over there at Tuscany to pick up the kids? I'm sure you've discussed it. Why won't you share it with the rest of us, please?
I don't wanna argue, honestly, I don't.
I'm not looking for an argument, I'm looking for, what is the game plan?
I don't wanna interrupt you. Do you have anything other to say on comments? Because I would like to respond to that, but I don't wanna interrupt you. Or when you're done, I will make a remark.
Well, I'd like to hear your response and then,
Okay, I appreciate it.
and then I'll finish. Go ahead.
Oh, no, please, finish your comment. I'll make a response in the supervisor comments.
Well, perhaps maybe I'd like to respond to your response. Would I be able to do that?
This isn't the time for that.
No? Okay.
And the Sean McQuillan is confidential at his request. Once it's finalized, you can file a right to know request, and it will be dealt with at that time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comments?
This is yours.
Yes, thank you.
Usually when you, I noticed the Alrena storage account, usually when you have a bill pay approval out of an account, you usually have it on the table there. Did I miss it, or did you guys not give out the Alrena
No,
storage
I
account?
apologize, that's my fault. I
So I didn't miss
copy
it?
that sheet. No,
I can get it maybe
forgot to
some other
copy that
time?
sheet. It's a monthly bill that we always get from
Okay.
Lisa.
Yeah, I just know usually, I double checked and it was usually
No, that's my
stapled
fault,
to
I
the
forgot
other.
to copy that one for you.
Then I'll just call next week or
Okay.
something. Also, I wanted to say on the Tuscany thing, it appears that Peters Creek is having trouble with this Tuscany developer as well. So, yeah, that was for your benefit. But yeah, apparently they were supposed to have some sewer lines inspected and they poured concrete floors over them. And some of the members of Peters Creek were like, dig them up. So apparently that communication between Peters Creek and them has been bad. I think that was one question. Yeah, the bill pay for Tuscany. And I too I would love to know what the game plan for our employees here are. I am concerned on whether or not there's enough road crew.
Thank you very much. Any other public comments?
Frank Latour, 7 Boyer Drive. Just want to give an update. September 7th is coming up. That's the final cruise. We had a cruise last night. Had a pretty good response. We have a lot of flyers out there because this cruise is pretty special. It's for Horses with Hope, for autistic children. And so far, a lot of surrounding communities have been very generous. I've been going around collecting gifts and giveaways and contributions for Horses with Hope. Anybody that wants to make a contribution to Horses with Hope, you can see me or drop it off at the cruise September 7th. Anybody wants to do it with a check, make the check out to Horses with Hope, and if they accept it. Monongah Hill, Peters Township, Bethel Park, South Park, a lot of the businesses have been very, very generous, and as part of Horses with Hope, we are very pleased. And moving forward with Horses of Hope, the excavating that was done by Mr. Lawson, we now have a fence on it, and it's draining very well, Rick, and looks very beautiful, and it's being used on a regular basis now, thanks to you and a lot of donations that came in.
That's good.
Also, Horses with Hope is sponsoring a thing on, it's a open to veterans, first responders, firemen, police, on September 11th at the Horses for Hope facility on Gillifton Road. They're going to have a cowboy service mass at 11 o'clock. So it's something different. So if you're a first responder, a ex-veteran, and you're welcome to attend, and your family. And that's about all I have right now. So just keep September 7th in your minds. Everybody's welcome to attend. We'll be collecting money. I have a lot of giveaways, trophies, cars, so spread the word. Thank you for putting it on the website.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Any other public comment? Okay, I have one thing, and supervisor comments, if I may, unless anybody else wants to jump in before me. Okay, first thing is I received a call from Tanner Smeato right before I came here, just to update the board. He does have a meeting with the chair of the ambulance in Washington County. He was real excited about it, and so that's happening this week, and he will hopefully give us an update. I did let him know that we made a motion to have him go to the county commissioners, get on their agenda. Karen, did you happen to find out when that date was?
No, she got with me and said that they wanna have a meeting, but I have to get back to me. It's probably gonna be in the middle of September,
Okay.
but she don't have a specific date as of yet.
Okay, great. So, Tanner would like to go there and do that and explain and show them how Pulse Point not only, if the equipment isn't available, that's what Pulse Point does for that buy-in, is they can update and get the automation to any facility, any 911 facility. So he's real excited and encouraged, and I wanted to let you know. He will update us by the next meeting. And as far as we had a public comment, and I do appreciate that, I do want to say a few things. Employment issues are very difficult. Everyone knows that. Out of the respect of the employee and the employer, it is our practice to not speak about anything employment related. That would just be terrible to do. And everyone knows that legally we're not allowed to speak about that, about employment relations. And I'm sure everyone here has either been an employee or had employees, and they understand that. So as far as the road crew goes, I know that we had one solid year here with one man, and it was Ron Loveridge. We had several situations, and we were left with one man, and he did everything for us, and it was an incredible year, and it was a difficult time, and we went into a hiring phase, but we had to go through a solid year with one man here.
He did everything.
And he did, and I wanted to say that because that brought back a memory of what we went through during that time here. As far as the future employee issues, we are working on many things. Unfortunately, we can't reveal all of them because they are employment issues. That's all we really can say, but we understand the needs of the township. We're managing many different things. Multiple projects, as you hear, going on in these meetings. It's probably unprecedented for this township, truly is. We have 2 parks being built and 3 sewage areas and 2 major developments. It's unprecedented work being done. I can't state that enough. As far as Mike Silvestri, I do know that well. I'm the one that incipitated Mr. Silvestri from Peters Township to come to the township. We did spend $10,000. It was the best money that we ever buy, that the township did. Why? Because Mr. Silvestri put in, gave us suggestions that we implemented that had never been done here. Practices, policy manuals, procedural manuals, things that we're using still today. We wouldn't be able to function on a day-to-day basis without them. Function, you know, in a second-class township, in a business world, it was invaluable. I look back on that, that was a real buy. So, we are still following his guidance and his guidelines that he gave us several years ago, and, I hope that can answer some of your questions. And anything else?
I don't have anything.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being here, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion to adjourn.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Trapp?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnet? Mr. Hester?
Yes. Careful leaving here, they're saying 2 to 3 weeks.